It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 24.
It's a picturesque afternoon for football in the Northeast, and EA Sports comes to you from MetLife Stadium, just across the Hudson River from New York City. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Jets. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, a lot of buzz here in the tri-state area about these Jets in 2023. Do you think that they are ready to challenge the Bills and the Dolphins for supremacy in the AFC East?
I certainly do, and for two big reasons. Number one, Aaron Rodgers is in town at quarterback, but number two, their defense, which kept them in every game last year and only got better through the draft this year. If they can pair those together, they can compete with anyone in the AFC East and the AFC in total.
Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they made sure to lock up their signal caller in the offseason, Jalen Hurts, and probably a wise idea after he finished as a runner-up to Patrick Mahomes for league MVP.
It certainly was a wise idea because now they have their signal caller for the foreseeable future. And think of the strides he's made since he entered the league. Everyone knew he could move it around with his legs, but boy, has he become accurate throwing the football.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback, but last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players, thrown for 38 touchdowns his last two seasons and run for another 23.
They go with a former Lion. It's DeAndre Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And they'll fake it down the jet sweep, and instead, here's Swift. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second and a couple. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10. Hurts. He'll get it inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And every time you step on a field, coaches are always going to talk about how important tackling is in a ball game. In this one, especially so. You can't allow these guys to break free and get extra yards after contact, but that's exactly what happens here. That can't continue as this game goes on.
Back to the running game with Swift. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here come the Jets for their initial possession of the game. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU at Zach Wilson.
And we all know the scouting report on him. He can attack the field at all levels with a very strong arm and make big-time plays off schedule. We also see a player with confidence and swagger. We see a guy who knows how to lead a team, who knows how to compete, and wants to be great every time he hits the field.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a late signing let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Throwing is Wilson. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And out across midfield down to the 45. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Swift. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 32-yard line. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Hurts to throw. Smith catches left side. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 19. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You've just mentioned how they got it done. They scored, The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So there to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go. And sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here pulled in by Lazard.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now 1 yard to go on third down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
DeAndre Swift and the Eagles back out there.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 93 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And this is caught. It's Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, The alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here's Swift. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this 1st half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
2nd and goal from the 1. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So out now come the Jets. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the 1st half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Now Wilson. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Up the middle, it's Cook. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. Here is 3rd and quite a ways.
Oh, a fake on the jet sweep as they run with Cook up the middle. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And Goddard going to have an Eagles first down as he'll get this across the 50 to the 49. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. They're going to look to throw. Shoves him away. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw again. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports halftime report. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start, and it ends up falling incomplete.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To throw again is Wilson. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. On the option to give to Swift here. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 118 yards on the ground here for Swift, and he's got a 1st down as well.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
The tackle by Quincy Williams.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
They'll try it now with Swift.
And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Quentin Jefferson able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be from 56 yards out. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this will stay a 3-score game at 24.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
Let's go, fellas. Let's go. Let's go.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. To throw is Wilson. And that is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
On the handoff, this is Swift. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Play action. Here's Hurts. That is caught, and he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the option to give to Swift here. To about the 40-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Brown goes in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
142 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Once again, it's Swift. Shoves him aside. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 42. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the 1st down. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Complete to Zacchaeus. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Hurts. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. DeAndre Swift. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here, because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Let's roll.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And New York set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at the 20. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 2nd down, Wilson. That's complete right side to Lazard. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He may go. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. But not only is this defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Elliott on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Wilson. And he's going to be brought down right there at the 29-yard line. Wilson to Wilson there. Zach to Garrett for a Jet first down. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Again, Wilson. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On third down, Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So Wilson runs off, and now they will go to the man they call Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. They'll start on the ground with Swift. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
2nd down and 4. This is Swift on the counter. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets, defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck